Hospitals are now on code white ahead of the New Year celebrations tonight. We'll give you the latest on the ground live. President Duterte is not closing the decade without some fresh tirades, again, against some big companies. Be careful with some holiday greetings you receive on social media. These malicious messages may just ruin your Happy New Year. The novena for the upcoming Procession begins in Quiapo, and once again, changes are set to be implemented in the annual procession of the Black Nazarene. And meet the PBA's undisputed MVP of the decade. You know who he is. Fast, focused, and fearless. Here's everything you need to know this rush hour of December 31, the last day of the decade. I'm Jamie Harrell. We're kicking off today's rush with an update at the East Avenue Medical Center, where preparations are in full swing for the possible influx of patients with firecracker-related injuries. Hannibal Talete is on the ground to give us the latest situation there. Hannibal, kamusta ang sitwasyon dyan sa East Avenue Medical Center?
Jamie, alas 7 ngayong umaga ay magsisimula ng operations dito sa emergency room sa East Avenue Medical Center sa Quezon City dahil in less than 24 hours, sasalubungin na ang bagong taon. Kaya naman kasado na ang preparasyon dito sa pagamutan. Sa labas ng ospital, makikita ang mga tarpaulin para sa Oplan Iwas Paputok, Iwas Putol na kampanya ng Department of Health. Nakalatag na rin ang mga gamot sa emergency room para sa posibleng pagdagsa ng mga kasong may kinalaman sa paputok. May mga nakahanda na rin isang tray ng itlog para naman sa mga nakalunok ng watusi. Nagbabala naman ng DOH sa mga mabiktima ng paputok na huwag baliwalain dahil maaring magdulot ito ng tetano. Kapag naputukan ay agad itong hugasan ang sugat ng sabon at malinis na tubig. At pumunta agad sa ospital para sa bakuna kontra tetano. Magtatagal ang kanilang itinayong emergency room para sa firecracker-related injuries hanggat nakataas ang code white ng DOH. Jamie, sa kabuuan na bilang ay umakyat na sa 54 ang biktima ng paputok. Mas mataas ang apat na kaso kumpara noong nakaraang taon. Kalahati ng kaso dito ay dahil sa illegal na paputok gaya ng piccolo, boga at 5-star. Ang mga kasong ito ay naitala mula December 21 hanggang kahapon ng umaga. Jamie, kabilang dito ang datos na yan ang 5 naitalang kaso ng firecracker-related injuries dito sa East Avenue Medical Center. At sa ngayon ay nakahanda na ang emergency room sa mga pagdating ng mga maputukan kung sakali man, Jamie.
Maraming salamat, Hannibal Talete, reporting live from East Avenue Medical Center in Quezon City. Over in Santa Cruz, Manila, the Jose Reyes Memorial Medical Center is also gearing up for even more firecracker victims later today. Marisol Halili reports.
With firecracker-related injuries remaining high despite repeated reminders from the Department of Health, hospitals are now preparing for the anticipated influx of patients. The Jose Reyes Memorial Medical Center has prepared this section of their emergency room for firecracker-related injuries. The healthcare workers will clean the wounds of the victim at the wound care section before putting an ointment at the treatment section. After that, patients will proceed to the injection section for the anti-tetanus vaccines. For major injuries, the orthopedic department has also prepared their medical equipment. There's the bone saw in case of amputations. They have also readied the giggly wire, mallet, and osteotome for the cutting of bones. There's also the rondure for cutting off softer bones like cartilage and fingers. In cases that the doctors can still salvage the affected body parts, they have also prepared the industrial drill and the external fixator.
Actually, ito pong part na to, siya yung dinidrill sa bone, no? Pinapasok. Tapos dito rin yung iba. So, the rest, siya yung connection para mag-hold lang ng temporarily as damage control yung sa buto natin habang nag-heal yung pasyente, no?
To save an amputated finger, here's the doctor's advice.
Ever maputol yung daliri, pwede po siyang linisin, ilagay agad sa plastic na may yelo pero walang tubig. And then dalhin agad sa malapit na hospital within 6 hours for trial of replantation po. So pwede pa rin siyang ikabit.
JRMMC has recorded 3 firecracker-related injuries since December 21. This is relatively lower compared to previous years.
As much as possible, iwas tayo sa paputok para iwas disgrasya, iwas perwisyo, para masaya yung New Year natin.
JRMMC is still cautious because the number of patients usually rise on December 31. For News 5, Maricel Halili, we are One News.
President Duterte lashed out again at some of the country's biggest private firms, showcasing that as a new decade commences, his iron fist even on top of businesses remains. Jem Avancenia has the report.
President Rodrigo Duterte has a tight schedule despite the holiday season. After attending Jose Rizal's death anniversary ceremony in Davao City, he went straight to Mlang, North Cotabato. He handed out cash assistance to earthquake victims, but his speech centered on big businesses, launching diatribes against giant companies such as ABS-CBN.
Itong ABS, mag-expire ang contract ninyo, mag-renew kayo, aywan ko lang kung ang mamayari sa inyo. Ako pa sa iyo, pagbili na ninyo yan.
The network's franchise expires on March 30, and Duterte says it's about time the public exacts revenge against the station's alleged wrongdoings.
I will make sure that you will remember this episode of our times forever.
In another event in Digo City, Davao del Sur, he discussed the irregularities on the contracts of Maynilad and Manila Water. He also warned that he will order the arrest of the 2 concessionaires if they refuse to cooperate.
Pangalinan pati si Ayala, there is a violation of law. A crime has been committed. You cannot reform that contract. You cannot novate whatever, because right at the beginning, it is null and void. Ngayon, magkagulo ito, I will declare a suspension of the writ of habeas corpus and I will arrest all of them. I want billionaires inside the prison.
He expressed willingness to negotiate with them but says threats to halt operations will not succeed.
Arestuhin ko talaga kayo. Maniwala kayo, gusto kong bilyonaryo makita sa kulungan. Mo kong bullshit. At yung tubig na yan ninyo, I will order the military to take over.
Even the broadsheet Philippine Daily Inquirer was not spared. Duterte claims the Inquirer is the mouthpiece of oligarchs.
Kayong mga and sa Inquirer, binabayaran kayo. You are no better than a prostitute. You sell your talent to the rich against the poor.
The president also seeks to start the construction of the Kaliwa and Wawa Dam as soon as possible. He says it's the last resort to solve Metro Manila's water woes. Metropolitan Water Works and Sewerage System last October obtained an environment compliance certificate that would allow the project to proceed to the next stage of planning. Duterte is set to return to Davao del Sur this weekend to hand over additional financial assistance to the victims of earthquakes in the province. For News 5, Jem Avancenia, we are One News.
Here are the biggest stories from the dailies. President Duterte orders Interior Secretary Ad Año to take charge of the Philippine National Police until such time that a new police chief is named. The Philippine Star reports that Duterte ordered Año to fix several problems in the police force. The president admits that there are indeed some cops involved in corruption and illegal drug trade. From Pangmasa, we know some of you love to get techie with online greetings, but a cybersecurity firm warns netizens against opening suspicious New Year greetings on Facebook Messenger. Cybersecurity Philippines says internet users risk exposing their personal data by opening holiday greetings from the following websites. Take note of the following sites, folks. And this from Banat, no surprises here. Big man Junmar Fajardo is your PBA MVP of the decade. The Cebuano joined the league as top draft pick in 2012, and as big as he is, he disappeared in the shadows of second pick Calvin Abueva for a while. But Fajardo's determination soon paid off, and now it's pure domination for the 6'10 behemoth. Fajardo has been piling up impressive stats and wins game after game. In fact, the 5-time MVP is now in the running for a 6 plum. More than a week ago till Procession, and both church and security authorities are now busy making preparations for the annual grand procession of the Black Nazarene. Officials want to cut the turnaround time of the revered image to maximize safety and security for all. JC Cosico with the story.
Thousands of lay faithful gathered in Quiapo Church on Monday for the annual Thanksgiving procession of the Black Nazarene. For many devotees, it's a chance to give thanks as much as it is an opportunity to relay personal wishes to the Lord. Teresa Dairet has been joining the procession for 5 years already as part of her devotion after her prayers for her family were granted.
Para po sa kamukha po nung naoperahan yung mister ko, saka nung iniling ko sa kanya na makaalis yung anak ko, awa naman ng pong Nazareno, nakaalis naman po. Iniling ko sa kanya na pagalingin, tapos sa awa naman ng Diyos, gumaling naman po siya.
36-year-old Journal Herasco, on the other hand, has been a devotee since the age of 9. It was a tradition passed on from generation to generation in their family.
Yung lola ko kasi is tagang-deboto ng Nazareno. Hindi niya expected even my parents na ako yung magmamana or magpapasahan niya ng kakayahan niya or maging deboto ng Nazareno. Wala akong problema na hindi niya binigay ang solusyon.
As early as midnight, devotees gathered at Plaza Miranda. Over 10,000 police officers were deployed for the procession, while more than 2 kilometers of roads were barricaded for the procession. Security and Quiapo Church officials are employing extra safety precautions this year for the religious image.
Karosa lang ito, kaya wala itong pingga na hindi pwedeng akyatin, hindi pwedeng salyahin kasi masisira ito.
Mas maganda ngayon tinula kaysa hinihila mo. Kasi according sa ihos, kaya nila naglagay ng tali kasi supposed to be para hilain, para i-guide. No? Kasi kung wala daw yun, baka daw umikot-ikot lang yung karosa.
The image of the Black Nazarene made its way back to Plaza Miranda in about 1.5 hours. Authorities are now considering replicating this new scheme at Dutertes on January 9 and hopefully shorten the turnaround time from 21 hours recorded earlier in 2019.
Ang tuwa namin, natapos kagad yung procession, peaceful, orderly, at saka very solemn. Pagka pumayag sila na ganun ang gawin ulit natin, then we'll start planning already, start contacting with our units, our personnel, para po malatag po natin na malinis. Kung mapabilis po yung procession natin, malesen po ang threat.
Meanwhile, the NCRPO has a reminder for those joining Dutertes.
Yung mga matitigas ang ulo, sana wag nyo nang pilitin. Kasi pangit kung magulo. Bawal yung mga lasinggo at saka yung mga kung ano nung pinagtitake. So kaya medyo nabawasan po ang nanggugulo sa atin ngayon.
Monday's Thanksgiving procession marks the start of the 9-day novena for the Black Nazarene. Over 1 million are expected to join the event, that's considered one of the world's biggest show of Catholic faith. For News 5, JC Cosico, we are One News.
And that's how the last day of 2019 is shaping up to be. Join us next time for another round of Rush. For Riza Diaz, I'm Jamie Harrell, and we are One News.